Welcome back to another Pokemon fantasy reading. I'm John Hartness, founder and publisher of Falstaff Books, and this is where I read openings from our newest releases while dressed in a ridiculous Snorlax onesie, because I am a serious publishing professional. All right, look, I take my work and the books that we produce very seriously. I do not, however, take myself seriously at all. So if I can look silly for 15 minutes on a YouTube video and it draws attention to these amazing books by these incredible authors, then I will do it. But I will only do it every so often because it gets hot in North Carolina, even in March, and this thing's made of fleece and I'm fat, y'all. But this week, I'm excited about a brand new release by C.L. McCollum, and this is very much one of the queerest books we have ever published, and that is a high bar, kids. We are an LGBTQ plus friendly publisher, and it's a very good thing because this is a disaster bisexual urban fantasy set in a trailer park full of cryptids. Do I really even need to read it at that? You're just going to go buy it because that sounds freaking awesome, doesn't it? Well, you can buy it right now wherever books are sold. But if you order a print book from the Falstaff Books Shopify store, you get the ebook at no additional cost. And you get the ebooks delivered straight to your computer or whatever you read on, and they're yours forever. They won't be taken away. The license won't be revoked. You're buying the file. So you should get to keep your stuff. And we're going to let you. Oh, sorry. I've been sitting in one place and I'm old, so my knee got stiff. This is 13 County Road 666 by C.L. McCollum. And it's available now. And if you want to see more of me looking silly, and man, I just realized that figuring out how to use the night view on Adobe in my iPad so I do these readings really makes the glare on my glasses go away. So, yay me. All right. 13 County Road 666. The werewolf from the next row over and 5 trailers down had slipped his leash again, howling bloody murder and knocking over the neighbors' trash cans. Full moons weren't meant for a good night's sleep. Even in the mundane world, something about that big ball in the sky set folks on edge. Ask any ER nurse. A full moon was anything but relaxing. I knew that better than most of the population, as did all people living hip deep in the supernatural world. No, full moons meant sleepless nights for me, and damn near always had. Now, had I ever learned to nap during the day so I was coherent after moonrise? Of course not. That would be proactive and intelligent. And most times I was unfortunately neither of those things. Thus, it was sometime around midnight when I jerked awake on the couch where I'd fallen into a doze, fully dressed, waiting for exactly what had awoken me. I sat up to listen as the sound came again, then groaned, as sure enough I recognized the noise. Damn it, Harvey. I scowled and forced myself up. I pulled a hoodie over my tank top, not bothering with a bra, then grabbed my shotgun and shoved a couple extra shells in the hoodie's pocket. I'd loaded the witch-silenced gun before I crashed out on the couch after my regular check of the calendar. I'd hoped I wouldn't need it. He'd been warned before and more than once, but Harvey Stevens, our resident stubborn-ass werewolf, often ignored my scolding, along with the rest of the community rules for Asphodel Estates at number 13 County Road 666. I scrubbed my free hand across my face and fumbled for my boots. If I didn't hurry, the whole damn trailer park would get involved, and I did not have the energy to talk down an angry group of residents, even during daylight hours. At this time of night, I'd be hard-pressed to talk down one person at a time, honestly. It was bad enough Harvey'd likely woken half the park by now. Oh well. That meant I didn't have to worry about how loud I was in dealing with him. Our tenants would prefer the matter handled quickly as opposed to quietly in a case like this. It didn't mean they were going to be civil about it, though. As the managerial goddesses knew, one of them would end up filing a complaint, and a visit from the boss rarely ended well for me. Something to look forward to after sunrise. At least the trailer park was far enough out of Tartarus, Texas's tiny town proper that it was unlikely the local sheriff would be called. Not impossible, but unlikely. As long as gunshots weren't heard, we tended to get away with more than we didn't. Thus, the silencer on my shotgun that Mama had paid a witch for as a Yule gift a few years back. It wasn't a perfect solution to the noise issue, but it helped. Regardless, Harvey's dumbass was my responsibility as property manager. I'd deal with him and then hopefully get a few hours sleep before my alarm went off. Please, Mr. Sandman, I need some sleep. I pushed out the door to my trailer, wincing as the hinges squeaked something fierce. I made a mental note it would need some WD-40 in the morning. Tonight, though, I could be a little thankful for the noise as the screech of metal did some of my work for me, or so I found once I got to the edge of my wooden deck. It attracted one angry and more than likely drunk as a skunk werewolf away from whatever trash can was prey for the evening. The massive furball crouched about 2 trailers away over by Miss Ginger's place, his dark hide a black blur blending into the darker night. I hefted the shotgun up to my shoulder with the muzzle aimed at the ground and took the few steps down to the gravel and part hellish clay road between the 2 rows of mobile homes, careful to keep my balance on the rocks slick from rain earlier in the day. I made another mental note to be wary of mud puddles if this went the way I expected it to, and I had to venture further back into the community. Harvey, what do you think you're doing? I hissed, trying to keep myself to a whisper despite my annoyance. You know damn well you're supposed to stay in the shed on full moons as per the rental agreement. The werewolf tossed his head and growled, clearly unimpressed and unwilling to cooperate. Don't give me that shit. I read that thing out loud for you and you initialed after every single rule, including the full moon clause. If Harvey'd been a regular dog instead of a mangy werewolf, I might have found myself facing a pair of deeply ashamed puppy dog eyes by this point, belly crawling achieved with scolding tone in my voice. But no, not Harvey. He gave 0 shits about the dressing down I was giving him. I missed regular dogs. They were so much easier to train. Harvey growled again, low and vicious, and pulled himself up to his hind legs to loom over me, looking more like an angry bear in the moonlight than a wolf. I sighed and pointed the shotgun at him, leaving no question about what would happen if he moved forward. Last chance, man. I really don't want to have to wake everyone else up when I fire. Think this through. You don't want this, do you? You know what happened last time. The growls got louder and somehow even meaner. Oh yeah, he remembered the last time. Shame he hadn't learned from it. He bent his knees, then lunged straight at me as I'd expected him to. The shotgun barked in my hands, the sound thankfully muzzled by the sound dampening spell, rocking me back a little from the impact to my shoulder. Harvey yelped and abandoned his charge, twisting in midair with a whimper as he smacked full on into the side of Miss Ginger's trailer. I cringed. Maybe I'd get lucky and she'd be in town for the night. Otherwise, I'd get an earful in the morning. Harvey kept whimpering, his fur and skin smoking where the consecrated rock salt mixed with silver shavings had hit him. There wasn't near enough silver in the salt to actually cause major damage. For all his flaws, he paid his rent on time every single month, and the landlord wouldn't approve of me killing his tenants, even if they were running amok in spite of their rental agreements. Non-fatal didn't mean it didn't hurt like a bitch, though. See what happens when you misbehave? I asked, stepping closer. Harvey whimpered and made to retreat past me toward the entrance to the community. I shot him again, this time across the left side of his body to force him back the way he'd come, wincing at another high-pitched yelp. Some nights I hated my job. But he was my responsibility, whether I liked it or not, and I had warned him. You know where you need to be, Harvey. Either you get or I have to keep firing. You know how this works. Making sure his eyes were on me, I loaded another pair of shells and snapped the shotgun closed. Well, Harvey finally started edging back down the gravel road in the direction I wanted him to go, clawed feet barely slipping on the wet at all. I followed, trying not to trip over anybody's driveways in the dark or end up sinking into the mud. There was only so much moonlight could do for human eyes. I wished the boss had agreed to install better lighting, but he'd argued that too many of his tenants would be offended by artificial light when they all could see perfectly well in the dark. Thank you very much. To hell with those of us who couldn't, I supposed. I kept after Harvey as he made his slow, sulking way back toward his trailer at the very end of the road. I only had to use the shotgun twice more, both times due to him making like he planned to knock over another trash can out of sheer spite. The trash cans would definitely cause the most cleanup. I, on the other hand, was much harder to knock over than the cans, as more than a few of the tenants had decided to test from time to time. It got old fast. And that is the opening to 13 County Road 666 by C.L. McCollum, available now wherever you buy books from Falstaff Books. And like I said earlier, if you order the print book from our website, you will get the ebook delivered to you on release day for no additional charge. So you can order the book or you can order the ebook however you like to consume media. I'll be back later with more of whatever kind of silliness I can come up with. And in the meantime, peace.